super heavy transport, where steel giants weighing hundreds of tons crawl down narrow roads, skill is not just important, it's absolutely critical. This isn't just a job, it's a high-stakes journey that balances brute strength with pinpoint accuracy. Loading a massive construction machine onto a trailer might look straightforward, but it's filled with risk. A single miscalculation in weight distribution or an off-angle approach can cause the entire machine to topple. The operator must be razor sharp, and the spotter must have both experience and vision. Every movement is a mechanical choreography, executed with discipline and precision. Loading a construction machine onto a trailer might seem like a simple task, but in reality, it's a highly technical challenge, demanding precision, coordination, and experience. A slight miscalculation in weight distribution, too heavy at the front or rear, can throw the entire trailer off balance. If the approach angle is just a few degrees off, or the ground surface isn't perfectly level, the machine may slip, veer off course, or even tip over entirely. This process requires near absolute accuracy. The operator must not only steer steadily, but also sense the shifting center of gravity, a difficult feat when controlling a machine weighing tens of tons. Meanwhile, the spotter must possess a sharp eye, real-world experience, and the ability to anticipate risks and give clear, timely instructions. Every movement, no matter how small, is the result of countless instant calculations. Here, each motion is like a steel choreography, where engineering and experience come together as a silent art. From afar, watching a construction machine climb onto a trailer might seem uneventful, but in truth, it's a nerve-wracking duel between man and gravity, between steel and split-second precision. One missed step, one tire veering off the ramp, or a single burst of throttle too strong, and a multi-ton beast can come crashing down like an out-of-control giant. In that moment, the operator isn't just driving, they're a warrior in a silent battlefield, where every turn of the wheel can spell disaster. And the spotter isn't just standing by, they're the second brain, the extended eyes, the one whose signals determine success or catastrophe. Amid the roar of the engine, the screech of tires on steel, and the wind brushing past, the entire team performs a breath-holding act where there is no room for error. Because a fall here isn't just expensive, it can be deadly. Oversized transport rarely happens on perfect highways. Often these heavy hauls pass through narrow rural roads, steep inclines, slippery surfaces, or icy paths. When you're pulling an immense load behind you, one wrong turn or slight misjudgment can have catastrophic consequences. Drivers need nerves of steel, absolute focus, and top-tier maneuvering skills to safely navigate every meter. There are roads where, once your wheels touch the ground, you're no longer just carrying fuel, you're carrying your life. On one side, jagged cliffs. On the other, an abyss so deep it swallows light. A minor slip of the steering wheel, and there's no second chance. The path is barely wider than the vehicle itself, slick after rain, without guardrails or warning signs, just the howling wind, the groan of brakes, and the relentless pounding of your heart. These aren't roads for sightseeing. These are battlegrounds for drivers who've stared fear in the face and kept moving. Snake-like turns cling to mountain edges. Gravity-defying slopes loom ahead. Every minute is a psychological battle. If you think you're brave, try one lap on these death-defying routes. You'll understand why they say, this is a journey where your heart has to sign a waiver first. On the maps of true wanderers, there are routes circled not for their ease but for their danger. High-altitude passes in Vietnam's northern mountains, muddy red trails through the central highlands during rainy season, and narrow jungle roads skimming riverbanks near the border. These are not paths for the faint of heart. Roads vanish under fog, tire tracks fade beneath wild grass, and GPS? Mostly just there for moral support. What you really need is gut instinct and pure grit. Driving these roads is not just travel, it's a dialogue with nature. Every sharp turn asks, "Do you dare?" Every incline whispers, "Are you skilled enough?" And if you say yes, nature rewards you. Clouds brushing the road, mountaintops piercing the sky, and the unmatched feeling of standing in a place with no guardrails, no fences, just you and the raw world. These routes aren't for the weak-hearted. They're for those who live to dance with the edge, saying, Some roads are so notorious that locals raise their eyebrows just at the mention. That one? Oh, it's fun, as long as you bring someone to say your last words. Road signs wobble, potholes could swallow a small car, and unexpected challenges pop up like bonus levels. A herd of cows crossing casually, surprise rock falls, and daredevil locals speeding the wrong way with no headlights. Meanwhile, your GPS keeps urging you to make a U-turn when possible, like a worried mom trying to talk you out of a bad decision. On these roads, you're no longer a driver. You're a tightrope performer, balancing between gas and brakes, between confidence and quiet panic. Every successful turn feels like a lottery win. Every slip makes you promise the universe you'll be a better person if you just make it out alive. These roads are not for the faint of heart unless your heart has been upgraded to lithium-ion with built-in shock resistance. There are roads so perilous they don't just test your driving skills, they test your will to keep going. Imagine a narrow ribbon of asphalt clinging desperately to a cliffside, with barely enough space for your tires and zero margin for error. The wind howls like a warning, rocks tumble from above without notice, and somewhere below, invisible in the mist, is a drop so steep it seems to fall straight into another world. Your fingers grip the wheel until your knuckles pale. Every breath is slow, shallow. You don't blink too long. You don't speak unless necessary. This isn't a road you simply drive through. This is a road you survive. One misjudged corner, one overconfident push on the throttle, and you become part of the legend people whisper about, but never dare repeat. These routes are not mapped for comfort. They exist to separate courage from recklessness, instinct from panic. They are not for the faint-hearted. They are for those whose pulse can stay steady while staring down the edge of the world. These transports aren't just about raw force. Lifting and placing equipment that weighs hundreds of tons requires surgical precision. Every detail matters, from the tension in the cables and the stability of the ground to the direction of the wind. A small miscalculation can end in disaster. Mastery in both mechanical systems and environmental factors is a must. Nothing in heavy transport is guaranteed. A road that seems stable might collapse after heavy rain. A wheel might lose traction on an icy slope. When things go wrong, there's no time to panic. The team must respond instantly and decisively, making split-second decisions that can mean the difference between success and chaos. In the world of heavy haul transport, where every journey carries tens or even hundreds of tons of machinery and steel, there's no room for illusions of absolute safety. A road that was dry and solid yesterday can turn into a deadly trap after a single downpour. Cracks appear, ground shifts. A slope that once seemed manageable becomes a slick slide into disaster. A wheel slipping just half a foot could mean the entire load tipping, collapsing, taking everything with it. In that moment, the people in the cabin aren't just drivers. They're frontline soldiers in a battlefield of unpredictability. There's no time to think twice. Only reflex and nerves stand between control and chaos. Every trip becomes a one-time survival test. You're not just steering a vehicle, you're commanding a mechanical beast across a shifting terrain where the smallest miscalculation could come at the highest price. There's no manual that tells you how to recover a 50-ton trailer when the rear tires skid on black ice. No training can fully prepare you for the sound of cracking asphalt beneath your wheels, or the sudden drop of the road disappearing beneath your cabin. In the world of heavy-duty transport, such situations aren't rare. They're part of the job. And in each of those critical moments, one thing decides the outcome: the human being behind the wheel. Operators in this field aren't just drivers. They're sharp minds, steady hands, and calm under fire. They read the road like a battlefield, feeling every vibration through the pedal, noticing the subtle pull in the steering, catching the faintest tone in the engine's hum. They don't wait to react, they already have. Not because they're superhuman, but because they're conditioned to expect the unexpected. In this line of work, the only certainty is that there will always be surprises, and you must always be ready to face them. Behind these massive, jaw-dropping moves are people who plan, sweat, and push through extreme conditions. They're not just drivers. They are planners, engineers, operators, and field coordinators working together like a perfectly tuned machine. These are the quiet heroes turning impossible missions into reality, moving mountains of metal with expertise and grit.